Joe Rogan has just reacted to Justin Gaethje's terrifying new training footage, and it sent a cold shockwave through the entire lightweight division.
Justin Gaethje's a monster. He's a terrifying individual. In a sport that's violent, he stands out as the most violent. You watch his knockout of Edson Barboza, that motherfucker attacks people. There's a reckless abandon to his calculated wildness. He's better all the time. The question is, how much has he been training?
Justin Gaethje. He threatened to beat me up.
He definitely could.
By the way, I've never been in a physical altercation like your producer could beat me up.
He's the most violent man in MMA.
Is he capable of beating up a civilian?
No, he wouldn't. He's not stupid.
One man can hold you down, two can rape.
This is what happened. After the fight of the night. The third round, they didn't throw a punch. It wasn't fight of the night. Paddy's our guy. We're saying fight of the night. He got mad at us. He's like, you're trying to steal money from the actual fighters who won fight of the night. One thing led to another. He threatened to beat me up.
I take everything personal.
He could be the next Conor McGregor star.
I want that world title. All laugh all you want and say I'll never be champ. You gang of mushrooms.
Like that kind of a star where the whole
He
world is
has
watching.
that weird personality.
Yes.
Yeah, he has that.
Well, he's very disarming because people, they see, I talked about this in the last pay-per-view. I said it's a very sneaky trick because guys like you look at you, the way you carry yourself, the way you, that's a fighter. Like you look at that guy's a dangerous motherfucker. But when you see Paddy, he's dancing like this, his hair is flopping around like he's in the Beatles.
I think Paddy obviously needs to do what he does really well, which is fights out long, right? He uses those kicks up the middle. He's got a good knee that we saw him land against Chandler. And then almost kind of land your points and force Gaethje to try to close the distance. And that's when I would try to wrestle. He looks huge to me in a good way nowadays, Paddy. I'm always impressed. It seems like he's getting fitter and fitter, further and further out from these fights as well. We only see Fat Paddy for a little bit. Gaethje, I think keeping it on the feet, boxing in close, and just trying to murder the legs like he always does is something that he needs to do. I don't know if testing Paddy's jiu-jitsu is the move for Gaethje. So it'll be interesting, man. But I think Paddy's got a goddamn good chance.
Because no matter what people think about Paddy Pimblett, this version of Justin Gaethje is a serious problem. Gaethje doesn't train for aesthetics. He doesn't train for clips. He trains to cause damage. Every piece of footage coming out of his camp shows the same thing: relentless pressure and brutal conditioning. That's why this
Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett should not be for an interim title. So it was announced that Justin and Paddy will be fighting in January as UFC 324's headliner, and as much as I like this matchup, I have a problem with it being for an interim title. Because champion Ilia Topuria says he won't be fighting in the first quarter of 2026 due to personal reasons, so he expects to make his return around spring. So not only do I think that is not too long enough to warrant an interim title fight, but it also feels wrong to have this fight without Arman Tsarukyan in it. This is a belt for the third best fighter in the division, and honestly, it may not even be for the third best when we consider fighters like Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. This is something the UFC did to appease Justin, who has basically said he's only fighting for UFC gold, and for Paddy, who the promotion wants to see become a champion. Overall, great fight, and I'm going to side with Paddy on this one as I think Justin is past his best days, but yeah, this should not be for an interim title. But what do you think?
7 years. How does it feel to be the Paramount debut? Is it like a bit of a, you know, they like you? Is it a bit of an honor, or you don't really give a shit about that type of thing?
It is a little bit of an honor, like obviously, because they know they trust me with putting on a good show for the first main event in the Paramount era. But it's all about the title, lad. It's all about winning this interim belt. They wouldn't care if I was opening up the main card, lad. As long as I'm fighting for this belt, lad, it's all that matters.
Nice. All right then. This is a big matchup. We've come a long way, Paddy. We've come a long way from Luigi Vendramini to Justin Gaethje. Is there any is there any surrealness to it? Like you're actually fighting this guy that you probably, I would imagine, was watching before you even got into the UFC. This is fucking Justin, the highlight reel Gaethje over here. Like.
Lad, I can remember watching him fight Nick Newell, lad, the fellow with one arm, before he was even in the UFC. You know what I mean? I can remember my teammate, who's now my coach, Adam Vensey, telling me, you need to watch this Justin Gaethje, lad, he's unbelievable. And I watched him and was like, oh my God, he's sick. So when he had his debut against Michael Johnson, I can remember watching that live, just thinking, wow, this fella can bang. But, you know, that's the position that you get into in this sport, lad. You've got to end up fighting your heroes or you're in the wrong game.
Yeah, you've been in this position before against Tony Ferguson. When you're in the cage, it's completely locked in. But is there a moment where you're thinking, like, fucking hell, this is Tony Ferguson, lad? Is there any
You think that before it, like, but when you're in the cage, that's it. I'm just looking at him thinking, you're trying to stop my dreams. You're trying to take food out of my kids' mouths, so I'm going to iron you out.
And as far as Paddy, right, he said some things about you. Like he said, talking about you being on the sidelines. But what do you think of Paddy?
The way people are going to watch. I'm the most consistent, most exciting guy.
Justin Gaethje is not just a brawler that's the lazy take. He's a calculated destroyer. Heavy leg kicks designed to steal movement. Hooks thrown with bad intentions. Constant forward pressure that forces mistakes. Fighters don't get time to think against Gaethje, they react. And that's where he breaks them. Joe Rogan has always pointed out that Gaethje's greatest weapon isn't just power, it's pace.
I just had the coolest story, and I heard this yesterday, and I didn't bring it to you because I didn't believe it. I had to confirm it. So Paddy the Baddy just got beat. Paddy the Baddy, as a matter of fact, got submitted. Do you guys even know what I'm talking about? So there's something that goes on in England. This is Paddy's gym. Paddy enters this thing every year. It's called something. And then they have a King of the Mat. It's a grappling tournament, but they have this thing, this King of the Mat. Paddy was in the finals a year ago, and after an hour, they just stopped the match and called it a draw. So he was a co-champion. So whatever this thing is, it's a thing that matters to him. So he enters it, I guess, over the weekend. I guess. And he ends up getting beat. Now, one of the reasons it's so cool is I don't think you have heard about it. One of the reasons I think it's so cool is there's no other sport where this would happen. One of the reasons I think it's so cool is it doesn't matter. And that's one cool thing about our community. Like, if a guy like Paddy wants to go out there and take a risk and do something like this, he can chalk that up to a tremendous victory. He can also chalk that up to a workout. And you know what? We need to keep it that way. It's one thing that we have done very well as a group, and there's no other sport that's like that. You will never hear of a time that LeBron drops in for a one-on-one with the college star. He's going to take the risk. He just simply could not take the risk. This happened when I was a kid. It was to John McEnroe in Oregon. This was before the internet was a thing, but John McEnroe came out and he played somebody. We had some high school star down in, it was down in Eastern Oregon. I want to say maybe Pendleton. At any rate, the guy beat him. Our high school star beat McEnroe, and this was a thing. This was a thing. But it's one of these reasons why you can't ever get that. Like, you were left to believe that the NBA is better than the NCAA. You're led to believe the NFL is better than college football. I'm sure you're right, but there's exceptions, and there's certain positions at certain times where there are exceptions. You will never know. Those guys will never take the risk. They will never take to the field. They will never take to a three-point stance and go, they'll just never do it. On the outside chance that somebody's filming and somebody puts it, it's one of those things. And you get guys that love to compete. I mean, I got one resentment towards our sport. One, which is that we only do it 3 times a year. I mean, I can't even tell you the lack of respect that I have for a guy that misses a martial arts fight.
So I'm going to iron you out.
Of course. Big fights coming up. How do you see yourself getting it done against Gaethje? Of course, he's had a lot of battles. There's a lot of fight tape to watch on him, to say the least. He's had a bunch of scraps. He's got finishes. He's been finishes. How do you see yourself getting it done? Because he hasn't really fought a guy like... I mean, you're a bit of an Oliveira, but... You know what I mean? It's a new style for him. You're not just the typical up-and-coming scrapper brawler that's going to get into a fun scrap with Gaethje. There's more intricacies to your game with the grappling as well. So how do you think you're going to get this one done?
I think I finish him wherever the fight goes, to be honest. Obviously, I know we can bang, but every fight we get a breakdown made of our opponent, and it actually shocks me how much he gets hit. And I know he takes one to give one, but you can't really just do that. At this level, that's why he's lost. technical striking than Justin Gaethje, and I'm having a lot of success sparring with Luke. And obviously, one of my coaches, Ellis, who used to fight himself, he's the exact same build as Justin. He's 5'10" with a 70-inch reach, and I've been doing rounds with him. He's literally, because he doesn't fight anymore, lad, and he's just a coach. He's just done Justin's style for me. He hasn't got his own style. He's been doing Justin for me, and just the bits what we're working, I can see me knocking him out or dropping him and then submitting him. People are going on about his takedown defense, but if I want to take him down, I will take him down, lad. Simple as. But I can see myself dropping him, ending up on top and either TKOing him or submitting him, submitting him or TKOing him a ground and pound.
Nice. That's the prediction I got. You mentioned Luke Riley there. I was going to save this bit of a segue later into the interview, but fucking what a KO in his debut. I was talking about Luke Riley fucking a few years before he got into the UFC. I keep telling people to look out for these guys on the regional scene, especially at Next Gen. They got a lot of up and comers. I know you got George Staines there as well, the fucking Elon Musk of MMA.
Elon Musk of MMA.
Yeah, he's you know, not the billionaire thing, but that build's unique.
Yeah,
George Staines.
It is, lad. He's got.
He drags fighters into deep waters and refuses to let them breathe, and after watching this training footage, it's clear he's preparing to do exactly that again. Now put him across from Paddy Pimblett. Paddy thrives in chaos too, but in a very different way. He wants scrambles. He wants unpredictability. He wants the fight to feel messy. The problem is that Gaethje's chaos is structured. It's controlled. It's pressure with purpose. That's why fans are split straight down the middle. Some believe Paddy's durability and submission instincts could turn one bad exchange into a fight-ending moment that if Gaethje overcommits even slightly, Paddy is skilled enough on the ground to capitalize. Others think this is where experience becomes everything, that Gaethje has seen far worse, been hit far harder, and survived much deeper waters than anything Paddy has faced. And once those leg kicks start landing, once the pressure begins to stack up, the fight changes fast. This isn't just about who hits harder. It's about whether Paddy can impose his world before Gaethje forces him into one he's never been in before. And if Justin Gaethje looks anything like what this training footage suggests, then this fight isn't about hype, popularity, or momentum. It's about whether Paddy Pimblett is ready for a man who built his career on breaking people. Joe Rogan has said it best before: when Gaethje looks locked in, someone usually pays for it. And the closer this fight gets, the more it feels like the division is about to find out just how dangerous Justin Gaethje still is.